Okay. Hi. I'm going to tell you how fast generation actually is. This is how fast it is. It's only a few years. So, okay. So first we got baby. That's one. Then wait. We're doing generations, not just the life of a. Oh my god. But this also tells you. It also tells you that. Go away. This is how fast life goes. So first off starts with your little sibling if you have one, then you, then your older sibling if you have one, then your mom, then your grandma, then your great grandma, then your ancestor, then your older ancestor. Then your older ancestor, your older ancestor, your older ancestor, older ancestor, and then the final ancestor, I guess. And I guess the final ancestor. That took me 10 years. But life, I'm talking about life right now. Starting from a baby to 100 years old. That's 100 years. And you, right here, you're in my generation. I'm talking about you. You are 8 or 7 or 9 or 10 or 11 years old. My generations are 7 and 8. So you guys are watching this, and you're watching because you want to know the life, how fast it goes. It only takes 10 years for a generation to restart. So then, your ancestor, old ancestor, the one who passed away 1,000,000 years ago, that ancestor turns into an ancestor from 5,000,000 years ago, but you turn into adult. Your grandma turns into grandma becomes a great grandma. Your mom becomes a grandma. You become a mom, and your little sister becomes this. Wait. Your older sibling becomes a mom. You become an older sibling. Your younger sibling becomes you. That's how fast it goes. And then it just restarts. It keeps going like that. All I'm saying, it takes 10 years for... It takes at least 5 or... It takes 10 years. Well, if you weren't counting that much. Actually, let's see. Younger sibling, you. Older sibling, mom. Grandma. Great grandma, ancestor. It takes 7 years for a new generation to start. Unless you're talking about like 500 other ancestors that you have. If you're talking about those people. So. But it takes 7 years for a new generation to start, but it takes 100 years for a person to die. It takes 7 years for a new generation to start. But it takes 100 years for somebody to die. So can't you see how far 7 and 100 is? That is 93 years far apart. Because 7 plus 3 is 10. Everybody knows that. At least if they're in my generation, they do. So, at least if they're in kindergarten, they know. So, why? Why are generation and life almost the same thing when generation is basically 7 years and life is 100? Why? Actually, life is infinite. Life is infinite. And Kalis, if you're watching this, I love your videos. So, we're not talking about him, but I just need to say that. I don't know. This generation is 7 years because well, if you weren't talking about a baby, it'd be 7 years. It'd be 8 years if you were talking about a baby and toddler. It'd be 9 if you're talking about baby and toddler. But if you're talking about your little sister in one generation, you in another generation, your older sister in another generation, your mom in another generation, your grandma in another generation, your great-grandma in another generation, then your ancestor in another generation. I'm talking about girls because I'm a girl. So, why is that so that's 7. That's 7. Maybe. Might have been 6 or 7. I don't know. That's what I counted. Little sibling, you, older sibling, mom or dad, grandpa or grandma, great grandma or grandpa, ancestor. That's 7 years. But one person in a life is 100 years. Why? Why do some people some people say generation in life. Wait, generation in a person's life mean the same thing. They do not. Generation is almost 7 years because there's 7 generation. And then go away. A person's life is 100 years. How far is that? That's 93 years apart. So should I turn this? I'm going to turn this just because I need you to see my arms. They are 93 years apart. You should listen to this video because I am telling you the right stuff. Because you don't want to go to a 5th grade class and say, a generation in a person's life is the same. You want to walk in that little class. Go tell the teacher, if they're dumb, and be like, Miss, generation in a person's life is so far away. Because they're 93 years apart. That's what you gotta tell them. You gotta tell them that, or tell the whole class. Pretend you're the teacher today. And you tell everybody, generation in a person's life is far away from each other. Because 5th grade people, I don't think they know that. Because they think it's the same exact thing. But I'm telling you, they don't know anything about this life. A person's life. I have 92 years left of my life. So how do you expect me to just wait 7 years? How do you want? How do you expect somebody? Your mom. Think about your mom. Is she 7 years old? No. Your mom probably be like 30, 42. I don't know. Maybe 30. That's my guess. 31, 30. I don't know. Somewhere in the generation of the 30s. Okay. Man, you don't know. You don't know this. But if they're 7 years old, you are 0 years old. You are not even born. But 7 years later, Your mom's still 7. Actually, she's 8. You go to you're 1 years old. She's 8 years old. You go to your mom like, Mom, how old are you? How old are you? She's gonna tell you. Oh, honey, I'm young. I'm really young. I'm 8. And then you're gonna say, wait, no, you're gonna be 7 years old. No, you're not. You're gonna be 1. You're gonna be 1 because the year passed. But 7 years and oh, you're gonna ask your mom, when does life end? Because you're 1 years old and you got 6 more years ago. And you're like, and your mom's like, oh, honey, you got 6 years, you're fine. And then you're like, how many years you got? So she's like, I'm already dead. And you're like, so I don't have a mom? And you're just like screaming, because 7 years is the only type of years you can have. Yeah, your mom's dead. Your mom's a ghost right now if it was Generation Life. She would be a ghost right now. Some of you are under 7, so you would probably, like if you're 6, you would get 1 year left to live if it was Generation Life. But luckily, it's human life, which is 100 years, so you're lucky. But that's 2 different things. So make sure you tell a 5th grade class that, or else they are going to be done for their life. I just wanted to tell you that because I know it. I just figured it out with my own brain. Now, bye.